A pleasant morning to all. I am very pleased to welcome you all for the 26th Synergy series titled Different Policy Approaches for Inclusive Education in India. Let's begin the session by invoking the blessings of God. I invite Amrita Ara for the prayer. To officially invite everyone to this seminar, I invite Daniel Davis for the welcome address.
Good morning. Respected principal, teachers, and my dear friends. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the 26th Synergy Seminar Series on different policy approaches for inclusive education in India. It is an honor to have you all here today as we gather to discuss and explore vital strategies for making education in our country truly inclusive. First and foremost, I would like to extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed principal, Dr. Chako Chiraman. Your vision and leadership are the guiding lights that steer our institution towards academic excellence and inclusivity. Welcome, Father. A very special welcome to our distinguished resource person, Ms. A. Ardra Shaju. We are privileged to have you with us today, and we look forward to gaining valuable insights from your expertise and experiences in the field of inclusive education. Welcome, ma'am. Now, in charge, Ms. Shribavi Jose to this program. Your dedication and meticulous planning have been instrumental in bringing. Welcome, ma'am. Next, I would like to welcome all the teaching and non-teaching staffs to this event. And last but certainly not the least, a hearty welcome to all my dear friends who have gathered here. Let us make the most of this opportunity to learn, grow and contribute to the noble cause of inclusive education in India. Thank you.
Thank you, Dania. Next, I invite our strong and beloved principal, Reverend Dr. Chako Chiraman, to introduce the resource person to us.
So, warm good morning to all of you.
Good morning, Father.
So, this is our 26th Synergy series, and we are happy to have this A. Ardra Shaju with us. You know, he's our former student, and first of all, let us give acronym to Ardra. A means what?
Active.
Active, okay? A, active. Then, R.
Responsible.
Very responsible person, very good, that is also correct. Then D. Dedicated, very good, dedicated. Now he is doing HST, Kerala State Literacy Mission, Government of Kerala. At the same time, he has conducted a one-day workshop at Arafa Training College, Attur, regarding chart workshop. How to draw the chart, the way. It was a wonderful experience for them. So give a good clap to them. Then the again are Again R. Second R. Hmm? Reliable. That is also very good quality. Reliable. വിശ്വസിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന വ്യക്തി. Reliable. Then again A. Hmm? Academic. Academic. Okay. Academic person. Studying well. He got to rank in the B.Ed course also. Anyway, what I found in here is, very simple person, and at the same time he has quality in teaching and dealings. It's one of the main elements a teacher should have. Shrewdness of the mind, doing the thing in correct time, punctual, dedicated to the profession, know what she teach, clarity in teaching, precise in teaching. All these are one of the very important qualities a teacher always should have. So she's going to deal an important topic, different policy approaches for inclusive education in India. All of you should write the heading and every points, important points, and should ask questions. It should be an interactive program. So it's a difficult issue also now, whether the differently able students should be taught in the normal schools, normal means in the regular schools. Otherwise, whether they should give separate training. Lot of adults problem issues are there for both sides. So inclusive element is promoted. Now in our society, we cannot expect all the persons in a good qualities, good abilities. There are people in the society who are not able to read, who are not able to do the things like this, who are not able to say properly a welcome speech, who are not able to come forward. There are people like that. But our aim should be, don't consider them as a second citizens. No, we have to bring them to the mainstream. That is our Everest policy. The last person also should come. Then only the Everest policy, Everest mission will be successful. That is the main aim of inclusive education. And I wish Ardra for conducting a good seminar, and all the best for you. And my humble request is that whenever we say or recite prayer, we should have 80 lines, 8 lines minimum, not 4 lines. Pallavi and Anupallavi also should sing. Let's make on it. It's very must. Otherwise, people will think, why only 4 lines? Not 4 lines is not must. Minimum 8 lines are must. At the same time, we should have what is our duty. In that manner, I will blame you 2 persons. It's important synergy series we are going to conduct, and they say that we are late. You have to see the alternative. What I should do if I am late? You have to convey to the concerned person, and you should be ready here. That is the accuracy, responsibility, sensibility, sensitivity, and it's very important. A teacher should have that. Whatever may be the headings we brought to happen to us, no problem. Make it convey to other person, make it clear. Same time, the union members also should have the responsibility. Whether it is there, if anything is lacking there, they should act actively. That concept is very, very important. Otherwise, like this events will come. It will be utter failure, and it will leave the mode of that program. Everything in a bad situations. So because of you 2 persons made the problem. So a simple element made the system becomes very worse. Am I right, Vishnu and Jisnu? You have to come personally to my room after this program. Okay? So I wish next time. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Father, for the valuable words. Now I invite Diksha Nasri to be the profile of the resource person, Ms. A. Ardra Shaji.
Ms. A. Ardra Shaju is currently working as a high school teacher in biology in project Saksharata Mission for Kerala State Literacy Mission, Government of Kerala. She worked as a high school teacher in natural science at Government Boys High School, Vadakancheri. She has completed her schooling from Kendriya Vidyalaya, Thrissur. She was graduated in BSc Botany from Little Flower College, Guruvayur. She secured post-graduation from Sacred Heart College, Tevara. She pursued Bachelor's in Education in Natural Science from Mahajyothi Training College, Mullurkara. She had qualified K-Tech Category 3 and also qualified CBT conducted by Army Science School, Government of India. She is a NCC BNC certificate holder as well as a regional level Kho player. She was awarded the Best Outgoing Singer Award from the Little Flower College, Guruvayur. Additionally, she is an amateur playback singer. She was invited as a resource person for one-day chart workshop at Alpha Training College, R2. She participated in a two-day seminar program on Geographical Information System organized by Sacred Heart College, Tevara. Thank you.
Thank you, Diksha. Now I hand over the mic to our resource person, Ms. A. Ardra Shaju, for the session.
So good morning. Good morning to all. So as mentioned by Father, I was an alumni of this college last year. I went to 2023 pass out from here. So I'm very happy and glad to be on this stage for presenting this Synergy seminar series. So we are directly moving on to the topic. So my today's topic is different policy approaches on inclusive education in India. Actually, this is some of the policies now we are going to look into. These are the national initiatives which are done by the India's prominent committees for betterment of the inclusive education in India. Okay. So moving on with the first slide. Before moving on to the policies, what is inclusion? We have heard this term many a times in our semester books, I think. So now we are going, now each and everyone is going to your internship stage. That is, you are going to the society actually, isn't it? It is a, school is a set to the miniature of the society. So there are many a times we encounter with students. Not only the normal students, we can say differently abled students will be also there in our classrooms, isn't it? So it is very important that how to accommodate each and everyone into our classrooms. So here we are only briefing our theory part, but coming to the practical part is much difficult. So we will move on to the topic. Some of the policies I am going to describe here. There are many, several policies which is behind this inclusive education. So why inclusion? Because inclusive education allows students of all backgrounds. You can see all backgrounds. What here all is, it is irrespective of the caste, creed, sex, gender, everything. It is irrespective of everything. Inclusive education allows the students of all backgrounds to learn and grow side by side to benefit of the all. Why it is said to be the benefit of all is that not only the differently abled students are getting benefit from that, isn't it? Now, when I am having a differently abled friend with me, I will be much more equipped with how he walks, how he talks, how I have to take care of him, isn't it? So, the fellow students are also getting benefited from this inclusive education. So, it is a hidden agenda of this inclusive education, I can say. So inclusion is important in this education background. Now moving on to the next one, we are straightly jumping on to some of the policies in inclusive education. First and foremost is the Kothari Commission. The first commission which was formed which was led by Dr. B.S. Kothari or Daulat Singh Kothari is this Kothari Commission, which was in the year 1964 to 66 year, and it stressed a common school system open to all children. So the person who is behind Kothari Commission, and there is a 23 member it is a commission where they stressed a common school system, and here the Kothari Commission had said that proper education enables a handicap. Actually, this is a statement that is taken from Kothari Commission. Now we say handicapped as differently abled ones, isn't it? Or differently abled ones. So from that time, proper education enables a handicapped child to overcome largely his or her handicap and make him into a useful citizen. This is what Kothari Commission had laid the first ever policy in inclusive education. Now, and before that, the Kothari Commission had also many other recommendations which included women education and education for backward classes and etc. This was one of the among Kothari Commission policies where it stressed the inclusive education in schools. Next one is the National Policy on Education of 1986 and its plan of action. Actually, we can abbreviate it into NPE 1986. We have heard this term. NPE is actually a follow-up of Kothari Commission. It is a follow-up of Kothari Commission. It included many integrated programs that were recommended in Kothari Commission. Okay, so what were the integrated programs were that? Development of integrated programs and suggested expansion of educational facilities in the schools. That is what mainly NPE is all about. And we can see it stated that the children with mild disabilities should be included in mainstream classrooms, whereas children with moderate to severe disabilities should be placed in segregated school. So here also one limitation is there. Only mild disabled students were included in the open or the mainstream that we were talking about. So they were only included in the mainstream, but the moderate severe actually they were not included in the mainstream. So this was NPE. It also had many drawbacks also. And next one, the provision for including a compulsory special education component in pre-service training of general teachers. As I have earlier mentioned that when we are going to a school, we cannot fully apply our theoretical knowledge to the students. We should have some practical in-hand training with us. So that is very important for the teachers who are teaching this disabled students. So the NPE has suggested that there should be a compulsory in-service or pre-service training for general teachers who are handling these disabled students. Okay, and it was implemented in the plan of action on 1992. Okay, the implementation came in 1992 in the plan of action. Next policy is the Integrated Education of Disabled Children Scheme of 1974. Now again, when we abbreviate it, it is a very common term. It is used in the schools. IEDC. We say we will be hearing this term many times from the teachers. IEDC students come here. They are called like that. Okay. So we have to now. It is much more. Acknowledge that whether it is said or not. So when students are telling IEDC students, the teachers say that we should not categorize them into that particular stream. Okay, so IEDC or Integrated Education of Disabled Children, it provided the differently abled children with financial support for books, school uniforms, transportation, given by the state governments. So we cannot, when we say disabled have to be kept in the mainstream, we should also give them access to the transportation facilities, the books, the uniform and everything. So that particular provision came by this particular policy, that is integrated education of disabled children scheme of 1974. And as the policy is there will be also limitations or drawbacks. So when we say that drawbacks is that this particular policy was only implemented in 10 to 14 states in India. So this was a major drawback because we cannot fully equip this particular policy in every state. So that was a big drawback. And secondly, lack of orientation among regular staff. Again, this pre-service training was not given to the teachers who are handling these disabled students. So again, the lack of orientation was a major issue, so that the disabled students or the differently able students will be not able to attend the schools. And it stressed the integration of only mild to moderate disability and not moderate to severe. Therefore, it was not fully inclusive. Actually, now also we cannot say that our schools are fully inclusive in manner. Now also the policies are making to make it fully inclusive, but there are also many challenges when it make into fully inclusive manner. Okay. And we can proudly say that as a Kerala state, in 1974, only Kerala shown remarkable progress in making this particular policy into full action, so that 50% financial assistance was given to the state. Every state was given, but only the Kerala showed remarkable progress in implementing the scheme. So that is why no wonder our state is said to be fully literate state. Okay, so about 4,484 students were not students, schools were implementing this particular policy, and about 12,000 students were getting this education through this particular policy. Now next one is 1992 Program of Action POA. This was created by again follow-up of NPE 1986, and a child with a disability who can be educated in general school should not in a special school. So it was strictly said that when a student who is disabled should not be kept in a special school, he have to be given education in a general school. And it envisioned that schools across India should share their resources with their institute, and also open resource centers for the unprivileged people, which are those are this disabled people or differently abled people. Now next is the 1990s, the Rehabilitation Council of India Act and the People with Disabilities Act. Actually, have you heard, I think that most of you have heard this particular term, the Rehabilitation Council of India. Actually, this is before moving on to this act, I will say a few words about rehabilitation. We have heard this term. Rehabilitation is nothing but the process of enabling this differently able to reach their optimal physical, sensory, psychiatric, intellectual levels. That is what rehabilitation all meant to be. And in the RCI is mainly stands for the regulation and monitoring of the services given to person with disabilities. So mainly the Act provides the standards for rehabilitation professionals, mainly the special educators. So mainly this RCI Act was for those persons who were professionally qualified to get into the services of differently abled people. So mainly it is to maintain a central rehabilitation register, that is CRR. This RCI had provided, or it had a provision that to maintain a CRR, CRR means Central Rehabilitation Register. So this register will have it's having the power to take action against unqualified persons who serve this disabled people. So this particular RCI can take action for the differently abled people. And mainly it establishes consequences of teaching without license. So RCA Act come under this particular stream. And PDA Act, PDA means it is to ensure that dignity without discrimination and equal opportunity. So it is actually coming with these policies. So PDA is much more ensuring that whether the differently abled persons are getting free and appropriate environment until the age of 8 and promoting integration into normal school. Again, this particular act is giving importance to inclusive education. Next is District Primary Education Program, DPEP, District Primary Education Program. This is actually an initiative of the PDA, that is the Persons with Disability Act. It was launched in 1994 and actually it was launched for achieving the universalization of the education. Mainly this had a holistic approach for universalization of access of all books and everything, transport and everything, then improvement of learning and reduce disparities. Disparities means it includes anything. That is not only touching the disabled person but also caste, creed, sex. If they are giving any disparities among, they are also given importance in DPEP policy. And the major objective of DPEP was that to reduce the rate of dropouts in the primary school. They had the aim of reducing it into nearly less than 5%. So that was their aim or the objective of DPEP, and they reduce overall dropout percentage. And mainly when this was the DPEP was launched, there was a significant increase in this enrollment, school enrollments and everyone. Now also this DPEP is going through. So it had a significant enrollment, reducing stagnation and also disparities among the students or the disabled ones. So that is all about DPEP, and its goal was, as told earlier, it had the goal was for education for all by the year of 2000. Everyone should get equal opportunity. Focused on inclusion of children with mild to moderate disabilities. And one more thing is that they also ensured the teachers are getting proper training through District Institute of Education and Training, DIETS, curriculum modification, resource rooms, teacher support for inclusion. So these are all meant for inclusion. So that the teachers are getting in-service training, pre-service training, how their curriculum have to be modified, then the resource rooms, the teacher support, everything was aligned for this inclusive education. So DPEP is such a good policy that is by the year of 2000, it is seen that DPEP was implemented in 23 districts in 3 states, Rajasthan, Odisha and West Bengal. Around 6 lakh disabled children were enrolled through this policy. Now, the last and the final one, actually this is not the last one, but for the time being, it's the last one, that is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. You have all heard about this particular term, SSA. So you might see that picture, isn't it? You have seen that picture in schools and all. That picture is very important. So the main points of SSA 2002 was zero rejection policy. So if a student with differently able is coming, physically impaired or mentally impaired, anyone is coming to the school, he is given enrollment. So there is a zero rejection policy that is happening in SSA. And next one is here also identification of children with special needs. Sometimes the parents might not be aware of their children's condition, if they are whether mentally or physically, if they are impaired or not. Like you have seen the film Tare Zameen Par and all. The parents were unknown of that particular fact that his his or her child was had that particular condition called dyslexia. So, but teacher who was in the film had discovered that this particular child had this particular disability. or differently able condition. So the teachers here have the teachers here or the school is emphasizing on identification of children with special needs. And next is assessment of children with special needs. We have studied about assessment all this in our semester. So these are all we have seen that not only for normal students, there are many assessment practices that can be followed for differently abled students also. So assessment of children with special needs. Then next is provision for appropriate assistive devices. If a hearing impaired differently abled student is coming to our class, he or she should have that particular device, assistive device to learn their subjects. Okay, so there are provision in SSA to for the assistive devices, and then teacher training and block levels are also there. This is the earlier told pre-service training program, and finally individualized education plan, that is IEP. This is again for each and every student who are sitting in a class. We cannot give activities for everyone in a common basis if we are having differently able students in our class. So it is very important that we have to incorporate the individualized education plan within that class. So it is also providing the provision for the teachers to individualized education plan. So these are some of the implemented or recommended by the main authorities for inclusive education in India. As I have told earlier, there are many other policies also for as a time limitation. I am only emphasizing on some of the policies. And finally, everything is coming under one thing that Rabindranath Tagore has said. The problem is not how to wipe out all differences, but how to unite with all differences in that. Inclusive education is such a thing that we have not wiped out all the differences, but we have to unite everything in a equal manner or equitable manner, isn't it? So that is all about our seminar, synergy seminar. I think that it is very much faster when I say. If you are having any doubt, please be open to ask. If it is in my knowledge, I can say, or I will make sure that it is cleared within few days. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Drashashar, for this wonderful class. So, next time for interaction, you can ask doubts related to the session. So now it's time for feedback. Students can share their feedback based on the session. So this was a wonderful session. And that too inclusive education, that is the new educational policy which is stressing on. And my question is, you are a teacher, you are presently working in boys. So you might have encountered with disabled children in your class. So what is that individualized education plan you have given them?
Thank you, ma'am. When I was teaching in boys, there were many students who were different, but they were actually ADHD students, I can say. They were not attending the class in a proper manner. Okay, so they were confused whether they are normal students or they are differently abled. Some might be out of the class. We will not see them. After one period, we will see. Next period, we will not see them. So, there is a student called Sai Krishna. he was actually having some kind of disability. I don't know what is his condition is all about because I had only some few months there. So he was very attentive in the class, I can say, very attentive in the class, but he was not able to write and read. So I started from small steps how to write, like in Malayalam Aksharamala and English alphabets. So when I talked to his mother, she said that he will not read and write anything when I say to do so. So the individualized plan that I have taken is that I just stay back for some few hours in the school and I started teaching him the basics of all the alphabets and Aksharamala so that he was very keen and he was ready to hear and write that. So he was given much more attention when I was given more attention to the class when I said that Sai please say something in the class. He was given much more attention than the other student. He was very much interested and he came out with answers. I think that the other students who was not having that much problem, they didn't answer, but he was answering all the questions. So I think that for some extent, as the teachers, we can make some differences in them. I cannot say that I am not sure that he will be knowing everything that I have taught him, but he will be remembering something. The next day, he will be coming up with some of the doubts, which will be very much foolish questions only. But we can say that for 1 to 2 weeks, I had done this particular exercise, and I could see some difference within him. So that is a small baby step that we can take to encounter such students in our class. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. One more question. Like, are you really satisfied with the current BEd curriculum? Means, is it including inclusive? Means, are we trying to teach in inclusive education?
I need to say that it is actually no. When we are going to a school, we see that nothing more, only the theoretical aspect will be there with us, but practically we cannot do anything with this stuff. So I think that much more in-hand training programs have to be conducted for our BEd students for special education also. Actually, there is another BEd for special education, but we have to be incorporating such training programs. That is very important. Otherwise, we will be not able to handle students when we are facing them.
Thank you. Hi. So we have discussed about different policies about inclusive education. So my question is that how effective is these policies in the current situation?
As I have mentioned earlier, SSA and DPEP, such policies have, over the years, it has made differences actually. Because I have said it earlier itself, when the case of DPEP and all, it had a significant increase in the enrollment in primary schools. Okay, so it had reduced the stagnation of the students of enrolling, and they are also ensuring such SSA and DPEP have ensured all students are coming to school free of cost. Like they are providing transportation, books, uniform, everything. So to some extent, over the years, it is evolving. Actually, each and every policies are evolving. Every policy is having drawbacks, but I can say that each and every policy is evolving so that we can see, someday we can see the changes, the fully inclusive changes. So,
Thank you, ma'am.
Can I say Malayalam? Class നല്ലതായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ എനിക്ക് തോന്നി we have no right to reveal the names of students who are differently able. Then I have a question that universalization in education is achieved in Kerala by 2007. But it already mentioned that differently able students or inclusive education is in the universal UUE. But actually, it is not correct, right? Because we have already achieved
UUE by 2007. But there is nothing about inclusive education in our society or in our schools.
Actually, thank you. First question, Sai Krishna is my neighbor, and I can say when we start streaming them into a particular, they are when we doesn't reveal their names and everything, this inclusiveness doesn't come. We have to be open. The students there is now very much equipped with him and this what's the tantrums that everyone is facing. So in my opinion, I think that revealing name is not that much a big thing because in my class and he's also my neighbor. So in the initial talk I said that if it is wrong, I am sorry. And the second question that is asked, in society we can say that nothing can be achieved in one day, isn't it? Everything is involved. So we cannot see a evident what to say progress in this particular aspect, inclusive education, but we can see slower things are coming on. Now, earlier times, this teachers told that teachers were always calling these students as IEDC students. They were not given in names. They were having names. Like, and I said example like Sai. Sai is having a name Sai. Why they didn't call that name? Because they were streamed through particular thing. So that is changed now. If now, so students are calling up like IEDC students, the teachers are actually scolding them, don't say like that. So that is a big difference actually. So changes will be very slow, but we can see it someday. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sushi. So I invite our staff secretary, Ms. Shiva. We chose to hand over the talk now in the absence of our principal. Now we have come to an end of our 26 study series.
ഇനി അൺഒഫീഷ്യലായിട്ട് എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ്. ഞാനിവിടെ വന്നിരുന്നപ്പോൾ തന്നെ പണ്ടത്തെ കോളേജിൻ്റെ ആ എന്താ പറയുക ഹാർട്ട് ബീറ്റ് കാണാൻ പറ്റി. ഇതൊക്കെ എനിക്ക് ഒട്ടും അത്ഭുതം തോന്നിയില്ല കേട്ടോ, സത്യം പറയാതെ. ഞാനിവിടെ ഇരുന്നുകൊണ്ട് പറയാണ്, ഞങ്ങൾക്കിതൊക്കെ യൂസ്ഡ് ആയി. ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ആണെങ്കിലും നമുക്കറിയാം ഇതൊരു ട്രെയിനിങ്, അച്ഛൻ ഇപ്പം പറയും ഇതൊരു ട്രെയിനിങ് കോളേജാണെന്ന് ഇപ്പോഴും പറയും. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ കറക്റ്റ് വേർഡ് നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നത് ഇവിടുത്തെ ഓരോ ആക്ഷനിലാണ്. നമുക്കങ്ങനെ ഒളി മറിയുന്നില്ല. നമ്മൾ ഹിഡൻ കെൽത്തിലൊക്കെ പഠിച്ചിട്ടില്ലേ, അതുപോലത്തെ ഒരു ഹിഡൻ അജണ്ടയാണ് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഓരോ ആക്ഷനും കൃത്യമാണോ എന്ന്, ഡിസിപ്ലിൻഡ് ആണോ എന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാന്നുള്ളത്. ഇപ്പം നമുക്കത് ഒത്തിരി വിഷമം വരും. ചിലത് ഇന്ന് നാളെ മറ്റന്നാൾ വരെ